Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, bringing you another video on how to raise your vibration so you can live your best life. And boy, it has been a minute since I made a video. I just gave you the earlier intro that we have been trying to shift away. It's away from that is so second nature. So I guess I will also add this is the place for conscious purpose driven entrepreneurs. We are here to help you remove the blocks that keep you from your purpose so that you can manifest abundance through it. Hello, hello, hello. I miss you guys. I miss making videos for you every day. It truly is my passion and one of my favorite things to do. So who knows, I might be popping in a little more frequently than we have been over the last week or two. It is hard to limit myself to only 2 or 3 videos a week. I miss you guys. I love talking to you. I can feel your energy. Whether or not you are here with me in this moment does not matter. Your purpose is my purpose. So we are intimately connected and I miss connecting with you. So it's awesome to be here today, but enough rambling. Today, I wanted to talk to you about being different, about how we interpret being different. And it's really fascinating when you look back at my story personally, which I'm sure is very similar to your story and why we are all basically in the same soul family, is that we came in with a different blueprint. We are not the average duck. And a beautiful client of mine who I absolutely love working with, and she has come so far in the 6 months that we've worked together, and I'm looking forward to another 6 months together. And she used the term, a term that really stood out to me and has become sort of a mantra for us in our conversations with her, but really has highlighted how I have felt and how many of my clients have felt, and therefore I suspect how you have felt. And when we come in with a different blueprint, we come in with a different energetic signature. We are already operating at a core cellular vibrational frequency at a different level than the people or the families that we have chosen to incarnate into. And the term that this beautiful client and I were sort of throwing around, it came from a story where she felt that stood out. It was one of the first days of kindergarten. She was getting ready for school. Her mother had gotten her dressed. Of course, her family, dealing with abundance blocks like most of ours were, had been very frugal and saved some hand-me-downs. And so she was put in this plaid pair of pants and sent off to hop on the bus for her first day of school. And she had that moment, a moment of trauma creation for her as she walked out that door and she realized everybody else was wearing jeans and she was wearing plaid pants. And she had that moment of freak out and pause and resistance. It said, no freaking way. I am not getting on that bus. I am not going to school in these damn pants. I will not stick out like a sore thumb like these pants make me feel. And it was so beautiful because I have seen this pattern in my life as well as in my clients' lives where we are different than our family. We are different than our peers. We are different than the vast majority of people who surround us. And we allow the trauma, right? The perception of there's something wrong with me because I'm different to create trauma. And here's the thing is I don't like to use the T word. I've already said it so many times in this video, more so than I typically would like, because most people will say, I don't have trauma, right? My childhood was fine. I was loved, no big deal. But when it comes to complex trauma, it is based on the perception of the child. Whether or not the experience qualifies as traumatic does not matter. That in that moment, my client, when she recognized she was the one person wearing plaid pants in a sea of jeans, she decided there's something wrong with me. And that was a perception choice that no one around her knew how to counteract. No one taught her, yes, you are the plaid pants in a sea of shorts or in a sea of jeans, excuse me, either way. But that's a good thing because leaders are not followers. That we who incarnated in this different energy signature, who have a different blueprint, we are here because we are needed to stand out. We are needed to lead. We cannot be the same. And our differences are what make us powerful catalysts for change. Now, in my own story, it started very early on with a mother who was not emotionally available and a father who was a narcissist. And in that seeming emotional abandonment of the unavailability of my caregiver and the outright rejection and judgment and condemnation from the other, that message of there's something wrong with me was received. And many of us receive this message in one way or another. If you did not feel safe, seen, heard, cared for, or loved, if you follow me, you know I say these 5 things all the time. If you did not feel safe, seen, heard, cared for, or loved for an extended period of time, the message received is there's something wrong with me. And part of that may have come from our caregiver's lack or ability to emotionally be available for us. Hurt people. They were wounded, therefore they wounded us. It doesn't matter. But ultimately, what I am finding is that there is a commonality between those of us who've experienced this programming and conditioning of not enoughness and also an already different energetic signature. So, who's to say that it was just their wounding? In some cases, I have seen evidence that it was the difference that stood out so early on, that our frequency, our vibration, however we came through. I have a big red birthmark on my forehead. You can't see it because I cover it. But who's to say that going against the grain, by the way, that's very hard for me to tell people. So give me 5 on that one. A moment of vulnerability. It's okay. I'm here to lead by example, right? To bear all of me, to be whole and complete me. Okay, so we are apparently onto something. I just paused the video for a second so I could have that coughing fit. I'm not sick, which is really interesting. But something very big jumped into my throat just there, and it did not want me to speak. But we're going to move forward anyways. So it takes a lot for all of us to be vulnerable enough to say, hey, here's my flaw, right? Here's the thing that I'm embarrassed about. It's part of our energetic signature, right? That I know subconsciously. I've never heard the confirmation, although I've asked for it. It has not been received yet, but I have a knowing in my being that the imperfection that protruded from my forehead was a problem for my mother. That her emotional unavailability, of course, stemmed from her trauma and her lack of healing of those wounds, but also that I triggered her. That it probably wasn't something she was very proud of. In fact, I was born in 79, back when it was cool and something they did on purpose to have red tinted photography. And so, of course, what better way to emphasize a giant red birthmark on your forehead than to have a red tinted photograph? So I know that there was a part of my being, just in my sheer beingness, that triggered my mother. And I know that all throughout my life, I have been a catalyst, that there's sort of a love-hate relationship, right? I can walk into a room and people either really gravitate towards me, and there's, especially now after healing, once we become whole and complete, we become extremely powerful and magnetic. There's either a draw that says, I want to know more about that, or there's an immediate repulsion. I hate that. I don't like you. I don't know why I don't like you. I don't know anything about you, but I know I don't like you. And that's happened to me multiple times in my life. where literally one girl in high school, she literally used those words, brand new to a school. She walked in, got in my face, and she said, "I don't like you. And I don't know why I don't like you, but I know I don't like you. Stay out of my way." And she was a thorn in my side for the remainder of my high school years. And that was not fun. That was very painful, right? And of course, I interpreted that as there's something wrong with me. I'm sure as an infant, in fact, I know for a fact there are studies that have proven that when a baby does not receive eye contact from the parent, it causes a fight or flight nervous system response in the baby. The baby goes into distress, measurable distress, when there is not the love and affection and presence of the parent, the loving, compassionate witness that is there to say, "I see you. You are beautiful. I love you. I'm here for you." Those powerful, powerful words deliver a message to a nervous system that needs to know it's safe and secure. And when we don't receive that, it starts the program. It starts the program of not enoughness, starts the program of wounding, what's wrong with me, and so on and so forth. Lots and lots of videos on what that looks like and how that plays out. But I wanted to come on here today to remind you that we came here to do something to change the world, to be here, to build the new systems, to replace the old that thank God is crumbling and falling away. We are here to be catalysts. We are here to be healers. We are here to teach others how to heal themselves. We are here to bridge the gap between the old and the new. I'm flooded with goosebumps right now. That is our yes, we are on track. But in order to do that, to be that catalyst for change, embraces being a catalyst. Now, I never enjoyed pissing people off. I'm hypersensitive. I highly empathic. I feel in a split second, oh, I made you uncomfortable. Oh, that thing I said, you didn't like that. I know. And I can feel it. And it's not comfortable for you or for me. And for many years, I would shy away. I would play small. I would hide my birthmark, right? It's just metaphoric for I would hide who I am. And the same way my client ran back inside and changed her pants and put on the jeans so she could look like everybody else and feel okay, to feel safe, to feel like enough. Deep down inside of her and deep down inside of me, there was always that knowing I'll never quite be like all of those people in jeans. I will always be the girl with plaid pants and the birthmark on her forehead. And so we spend many, many years, a vast majority of our life, running from that, hiding from that, trying to fix that, trying to change that, rejecting, denying, fracturing, splitting off these parts of ourselves that we have somehow deemed a liability. But the good news is we can heal. And through lots of somatic healing, body work, conscious, subconscious reprogramming, working with the body and understanding how to close that trauma loop, how to extract that conditioning and programming that truly believes you are not enough, how to desensitize the triggers of the nervous system so that you don't feel so intensely that you can't tolerate the discomfort. There comes a point where the body is relieved of all of this trauma that our vast majority of our energy has gone to manage. The body is relieved of the trauma. That energy is freed up. We become solid. We become stable. We become strong. We become whole. complete. There are very few words that can encapsulate wholeness, where you come to a point and you say, yes, I am a catalyst. And I embrace who I am, and I love who I am, and I would not change who I am, and I love who I'm becoming. And as I choose to step into the gift of being a catalyst, if ever that could be a good thing, I embrace it for what it is, trusting and knowing that the divine made me perfectly imperfect for my purpose. And every single thing about me is exactly how it's supposed to be. And guess what? When I show up for a client and I hold that space, being a catalyst in a gentle, kind, loving way that says, you know what? Here's a pattern. Here's some conditioning. Here's some programming. Here's how this is playing out in your life. This is what's holding you back. Can you see? Lovingly pointing out those patterns. I now have people telling me I changed their life. I saved their life. I have received more compliments I'm not bragging, but I want you to know this is possible for you. That 2 years ago, when I started out on this journey, I knew I needed to do something different. I knew I needed to leave the corporate world. I knew I could not continue wasting my life, my energy, my time on something that didn't matter. Making money for the man, constantly churning numbers, looking for the ROI. How can I squeeze a little bit more out of my clients? A little bit more profit margin, a little less cost. What a waste of a life. And I quit. And I was scared as hell. I quit my job and decided to get a divorce all at the same time. No clue how I was going to pay my bills. But I took the uncomfortable action and I stepped into the unknown, and I knew that I was doing what I was called to do. And in that step forward, in that knowing that I was called to do something that mattered, I knew I was going to be cared for, and I was provided for every single step of the way. And now, 2 years later, uncomfortable action after uncomfortable action, showing up just to say, I'm here of service. I know that my purpose is to help you find your purpose. And then I'm saying, this is my initial conversations with potential clients. My purpose is to help you find your purpose. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm here for you, and I'm committed to your success, and I will not do anything else but be here for you until we find success for you. And then one step at a time, my abilities, my strengths, my gifts, they started to grow. They started to show themselves. They become more powerful, stronger. And then all of a sudden you come to a place 2 years later and people are saying, you changed my life. I'm on a whole new timeline now because of you. You are a catalyst for change. Thank you for showing me there's a better way. I have never in my life received such valuable feedback and gratitude from people. It's humbling. It's humbling because it comes to a point where you're like, I didn't even really do this, right? The divine just moved through me. This isn't mine, but thank you. Thank you for reflecting to me my value and worth. And so the point of all of this is you're probably different. And that's definitely okay. It is an uphill battle you will never win trying to, one, fit in, or two, hide that you don't fit in. You cannot heal in isolation. You cannot shine your light from hermit mode. You cannot do what you came here to do without embracing the fact that, yes, I rock the boat. I make you uncomfortable. I am a catalyst for change. The last thing you want to market is, hey, I'm a catalyst for change. You want to hire me? People don't really buy that. But you came here to help create heaven on earth. You came here to help others heal. You came here to do something that matters. And if there's a part of you that knows there's got to be something more, this cannot be all there is to life. I am sick of the hustle and grind. I am sick of the hamster wheel. I am sick of working to spend, to working to spend, to working to spend. I'm sick of the debt slavery system. I'm sick of being sick. I'm sick of being sick and tired. When will you be sick enough to do something about it? Change happens when the pain of change, the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. Change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. What that means is you have to get uncomfortable now to put the fire under your butt that is going to get you to the place where you do something about it. Now, I say that cautiously because this channel is all about healing trauma wounds that hold you back from your purpose, because the bootstrap method only works when you are healed enough that you can override the emotional limbic brain that says it's not safe to do these things. So I recognize that we must heal. But in that moment, after the healing has happened, after you have recuperated, it's time to embrace being a catalyst for change. Proudly be the girl in the plaid pants amongst the sea of jeans. And join me in creating heaven on earth. I love you guys so much. We have a community where we would love to welcome you. Please do come join us in that community. This is where I will pour into you all of my heart and soul for a very nominal $20 a month. I make it as accessible as possible, so finances are not an excuse. We will move through what your trauma responses look like, use somatic healing to heal those blocks and remove them so that you can start to explore your purpose and manifest abundance through it, because your purpose is your path to abundance. There's a link below to join us. I would love to see you there. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video. Namaste. I love you, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.